Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week, where normally two old guys talk about old games. But we're getting down to the wire, and people are actually more interested in coming on for these games. So we have our two...
Not because the show's any better.
Yeah, right.
Just because the game's
They just want to talk about this game.
It has no reflection on the quality of the show, which is inarguably gotten worse, I think.
So we have returning Josh Nance of Uniracers fame.
Hey, Josh.
Hey guys.
And Sean McElwain of Contra and Mega Man X2 fame.
He is a legend.
Hey, McElwain.
What's up, guys?
This week, Original Flavor Wednesday, counting backwards through IGN's Top 100 Super Nintendo games. This week, we are at number 3 with Super Metroid.
Super Metroid.
It's like when this podcast started, this was the only thing. McElwain was like, I want to do Super Metroid. I know what number it is. That's the one I want to do, please. It's like, okay, it's going to be a long time. It's fine.
He is such a big fan that he brought the cartridge with him to record.
He's been patiently waiting outside in the waiting room for 2 years.
The Tadpog Green Room.
It's autographed by Samus. I don't know how that worked out.
Don't question it.
You should bring it to Dragon Con and have someone cosplaying as Samus just saying
Just please sign this. Well, I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And, spoilers, before we got to this on the list, I had never played Super Metroid.
What?
I had played other Metroid games, and I had watched Josh play Metroid games. Because I had watched Josh play nearly all of the original for NES. And I remember that I have two, I think
Nearly all of the original. That's going to come into play later.
Okay.
For my,
I was about to say
it's my achievement. So
Okay.
It's going to come into play right now for my intro.
I was going to ask, did you just get bored watching it play, or did
well, this is my achievement. So I'll save that for later. But go ahead and tell the story.
I wasn't always a good friend of Josh.
Oh my God! I know what you did.
Spoilers! I'm not always a great friend of Josh.
I know what you did.
So I remember one time he's playing. I believe you were playing Metroid as well. And you were beating.
It was original Metroid.
You were fighting a boss, and I remember, like I mentioned it before. I reached up my nose and pulled out to date the largest booger I'd ever pulled out. And you were so concentrating so hard, I just wiped it down the side of your face. And you were angry, but you didn't let it break your concentration on the battle. And I remember my mom had come to get me that afternoon, and I see her pull up, and as I'm walking out the door, you're still playing the game. I don't know why the asshole came out of me, and I just
then the asshole comes out of you?
Prolapse.
Before I was a jerk. Then my asshole just fell right out. And my asshole reached up and flipped that power switch. And then
my God.
I ran out of the house like a bat out of hell, and Josh chased me screaming until I got into my mom's car, and you were hitting the window so angry at me.
Why did and that's why we're here today. Why did you do that, Tyler?
I'm sorry, Josh. I feel like I should take now, 15 years later, to apologize to you.
We don't like it when you do things that hurt us, Tyler.
It's okay. I got you back in college.
It's true. Listen to Past Midnight.
What's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host, and I don't have a booger story or a Metroid story because I never played Metroid up until about, this game. I played the original a little bit, a really little bit. It was always one of those games where my friend had it, and it never really appealed to me, ever. And it's a lot of people own this game, and I would watch them play, and I would just think, well, this looks like a boring game. But I do have, so I don't have a Metroid story. I do have a rolling into a ball story, which is something that Samus does. This is a continuation of the Germany story. I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, and I've talked about that a little bit on the show before with the robot dog alarm clock barking at me and cheering me on as I'm in the shower. But this is a trait I've always had, and crossing the Great Pond didn't change it. One night when I was in that Germany hotel, I might have been a little drunk. Might have been just a little drunk, which always augments my heavy sleeping. And for some reason, I felt like it would be a good idea to take a bath. And getting in this bath was like a really weird experience because it was a Germany tub. It wasn't an American tub. So, which the main
So it had ropes and chains. And
yeah. Well, the main difference was it was a lot smaller for the European physique, the slim European physique, as opposed to my physique, which is very American.
Healthy American.
I don't know. Depends on how you say healthy. Like corn-fed, all right, that's fine. We'll go corn-fed.
It's a freedom physique.
Yeah, freedom
Your
physique.
freedom
I like
physique.
it. So, and at the time, my freedom physique was like in its most free. So I crammed myself in this bathtub, and first of all, I never take baths. So I love a hot shower. And like the hotter, the better. But the other reason that this was a Germany tub was that there wasn't a shower. It was just a straight up bathtub. It's like bathtub or GTFO. That's if you want to clean your balls, you
have to soak with them.
You either have to soak with them in the ball soup, or you need to get a washcloth and do it like a whore. I mean, let's face it. So I decided to soak in there, but I didn't expect to fall asleep in there, which I did. When I woke up 4 hours later, my teeth were literally chattering. I woke up hungover and cold as shit in the bathtub in Germany, and I didn't even wash myself yet. So
You might have been missing an organ or something.
I thought about it. But I did. I woke up curled up in a ball, much like Samus. I could have totally gotten behind the oven to clean it out.
I feel like one of the worst places to jerk off though is the bathtub.
In a bath, yeah.
Because the way I have done it before. My bathtub masturbatory.
Please.
It has to be a dry bathtub if you're gonna do it. Because I don't like standing up. So I remember if I had to jerk off like home in the bathroom,
as a rule,
I had to lay in the dry bathtub.
Or just when you're jerking off.
I don't like. It's hard for me to finish at all like standing up. I'm so adapted to laying down and doing it.
I think
it's hard.
I can agree with that.
It's probably universal.
It's like jerking off in the shower is not a thing I do.
Yeah, standing up and doing it, that's like porn star quality. Like that's
I'm just. You made me like just realize
horny.
how horny I am. You made me realize how glad I'm an adult. Like, because I haven't had to jerk off in the shower in I don't know how long. Fuck, I can do it.
Dragon Con last year?
Yeah. I have a house. Like, I can just jerk off wherever the fuck I want to in any of the rooms as often as I like.
that might change.
I think that's more the invention of the internet porn than
Wait, what?
Adult wise.
It makes you not jerk off in the bathroom because you want to be where the porn is.
Well, I mean,
Well, I don't have to have
you
porn.
don't-
I like to have a visual aid. But I
Go
don't-
old school and use your imagination.
Yeah.
I
Remember
can't-
those days?
Can't do it anymore. It's porn or GT5.
What's this internet porn?
You can go where and go
It will
where.
change your world,
I
Dave.
remember the first time I tried to jerk off in the tub, like while there was water in it, I just ended up just splashing all over the place because it came up to like a quarter of the way up my erect penis. So then as I go all the way down, it just splash, 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 ruins everything.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Everyone was really curious why you were throwing rocks in the bathtub.
Battleship.
What's up, guys?
Hey guys, how's it going? Man, I feel like this is off to a really good start.
Well, I got two small short stories to tell.
You're gonna read them out of a humanities book.
One is called The Most Dangerous Game. No. One has to do with Brandon Eves.
Of
one has
Axelay
to-
fame.
One has to do with Josh and Ashley Shake. I think part of the Josh story has already been told, but I don't know if the Ashley Shake part has.
Always the darker half of the story.
Right. Once when me and Josh were roommates back many years ago, Ashley Shea came over for one of his visits, and we, for some reason, went to Josh's room and had to get on the internet and look some stuff up. And we get on the internet, and we
gotta look stuff up to Josh's room.
Well,
You know, where we look stuff up.
it was the most convenient. And so we start typing in the search engine, and lo and behold, Josh's search history pops up. And what do we find but random ass, like, car, sister, wife, Harry.
Wife car. Yeah, we've actually covered this on the show before.
Right. But that's just the first part. Because eventually we found...
I'm glad you are telling the Shake side of the story. I know where this is going.
The saga
eventually
continues.
We found rusty trombone as one of the things, and Shake was baffled.
Show notes.
Yeah, Shake was baffled as to what that meant and what it was. So we said, "You've never heard of a rusty trombone?" "No, guys, I don't know what that. What is it? Tell me, show me. Look it up, type it." And so we searched it, and we found a video of a rusty trombone and a good description.
It was just a guy playing a rusty trombone. I don't.
Until he came.
I mean, I get it.
The idea of a rusty trombone so, I don't know, erogenized Shake that he had.
I was watching everybody's face, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, rusty trombone, that's kind of funny." And just the look of wonder on Shake's face as he was watching the video, like he just, like, a world of possibilities just exploded in his mind.
He had to leave immediately. He said, "Guys, I gotta go. I forgot."
Yeah, because he lived on the dorms, which was like a 10-minute walk from where we were living, and like he just fucking bolted out,
Power walked out of there to his dorm, and I don't even. It might have been raining. I don't know.
Note to self: when we have Shake on the show next, ask him about rusty trombones.
Oh man.
My other story is about Brandon Eves, I guess, of wolf fighting fame. Is that
No, it's
Actually,
Jacob.
fame.
Excellent. Oh, okay, that's funny. But anyway, it's not as good of a story as the first one. But I'd say before the other event happened, we might have even been in high school. I don't. I know you think it's early college years. I was in a car driving. It was Brandon Eves and I think John Knowles in the back, and we were. And his girlfriend, Brandon's girlfriend, was back there too. And we were driving somewhere. We were driving, and we dropped his girlfriend or lady friend, or I don't know what she was at the time. Brandon, is a ladies' man. So we dropped her off, and Brandon had to. I think he was actually trying to get with this girl. And now that I think about it, he was trying to put the moves on her. And as we dropped her off, he got out of the car and went and talked to her. And this was about 10 feet in front of us. So being the 80s fans that we are, I decided to slightly roll the windows down about half a foot and put in Sinead O'Connor's Nothing Compares to You. So I start turning it up, and the ambiance was amazing. Like they're standing up there talking while Sinead O'Connor's belting out Nothing Compares to You. And it was just a magical moment for Brandon. He gets back in the car and he's like, "Man, I think that song really helped. I think I got it."
Nothing turned girls on like Sinead O'Connor.
I know. Well, that was my Brandon Eves story.
My only memory, period, of Sinead O'Connor is her ripping up the Pope's picture on SNL.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'd never heard of her or anything before that musical appearance, and seeing that.
I want to interrupt to let everybody know that John's pants are off right now.
Yeah. I was like, should I turn her? I did a double take. Turn around. Should I turn around?
Oh yeah, if somebody says John's pants are off, you turn around. Yeah.
I mean, he's not here or anything. I just know that his pants are off right now.
I'm hard, so that means John's pants are off.
And we're sitting down.
So I've I don't know if any of you guys knew this, but I've actually cosplayed as Samus before.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Where?
At my
Prom.
house.
Was that before you knew she was a lady?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when I found out she's a lady. Spoilers. But now I remember I was staying the weekend at my aunt and uncle's house, and they didn't have a lot to do there. But usually, what I would do though is go to the local video rental place. We didn't have any Nintendo games or anything. They didn't even sell them at the video rental place. It was strictly videos.
Yeah, that sucks.
So I rented. That was where I discovered Suburban Commando. Great movie for those who have not seen it. But
It's Hulk Hogan, right?
yeah, it's Hulk Hogan. He's like a space commando that gets stuck on Earth, and he has it's a small part, but at one point in the movie, he's got like this suit of armor, like space armor on, and I just little I don't know, like 8-year-old or whatever I was, just thought that was the coolest thing. So
We watched that movie a lot when we were little.
yeah, I love that movie, but. I remember I just loved the idea of that space armor. So at my aunt and uncle's house, I got like all their construction paper and stuff like that. And I just cut a bunch of it up, taped it a bunch, made my own like suit of Suburban Commando armor. And I just had like a huge time just like running around the yard and stuff. And so then whenever I got home, I remember I was playing Metroid at my house, and I was like, I'm going to make a suit of Metroid armor. This is going to be awesome. I didn't have nearly the resources at my parents' house that I did at my aunt and uncle's. I ended up getting like those little toilet paper rolls and like cutting them up and like making like bracers out of those.
That's pretty good.
And I had like, didn't have construction paper. I had like just regular like printer paper. And it just didn't quite have the same effect. But that didn't stop me. I still made a suit of the Metroid's armor.
I can't believe you told that story after just saying like minutes ago that it's awesome being an adult.
You're right.
Are there pictures of this anywhere?
No, not that I know of. My parents.
I'm gonna have to call your aunt. We haven't spoken in like over a decade, but I need a picture of Josh in construction paper.
I think we should just rebuild the suit tonight
And make Josh run around in the yard.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
a huge time.
Super Metroid.
Super Metroid.
Which I think is one of the we were mentioning Metroids, and I think that's one of the I guess things people get mixed up about. It's kind of like the Legend of Zelda. People
Right.
think Zelda.
Yeah. What if Zelda was a guy? I mean, or what if Metroid was a female?
Wait.
Are we
But-
confused?
But
It's the 4chan,
Yeah.
oh yeah, with the
mentality.
the trolls. Yeah. But I'm saying, people say Metroid, and they got a Metroid armor, but Metroid was the little parasite
The jellyfish, the space
Yeah.
jellyfish.
that was roaming around, and Samus was a pirate hunter. She wasn't a Metroid at all. And I think some people get confused
She's a human.
What is
An
it that
augmented human.
makes the Metroid so special?
because they're extinct.
They're really powerful. Like they posed as a
In
race.
Super Metroid, they're pretty much
Yeah,
extinct.
the Metroid species as a race posed like a huge threat to the galaxy. So they're pretty much all wiped out. And now there's only like one or two. Yeah, they're pretty much.
Well, and
Do they have like some ability to like create energy out of nothing, or
No, they like absorb power and get stronger. So they can like suck the life from pretty much anything and get stronger.
Okay.
Which at the beginning of Super Metroid, there's a little bleep that says the last Metroid is in captivity, the galaxy is at peace. So you think, well,
Yeah, because this is the third Metroid.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah,
But like,
for the Game Boy. Yeah.
oh, is that what it was for? Because like when I had never played this game before. Playing Super Metroid for this show was the first time I've ever played it, and so I sat and watched the whole intro. And they give the year, and then they give the title as Metroid 3, and I was like, man, I just assumed this was Metroid 2.
Yeah, there was the original NES, and I think it was for Game Boy.
Yeah, it was Metroid 2 is for the old Game Boy.
confession, this is my favorite Super Nintendo game. I think it's more of a nostalgia. We were talking about this earlier. I think it's more of a nostalgic love of the game because I played it when I was younger and I enjoyed it so much more than the quality of the game. I think
it still holds up.
Oh, yeah, it holds up, but I mean, it's some people would argue that other games hold up better. But
See, I played it actually pretty late. Like I had I'd already played Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and then before I had played Super Metroid, then I went back and I was like, oh wow, there are a lot of similarities to this. But yeah, Super Metroid came out way before Castlevania did.
Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, Symphony. But yeah, it's. I think it still holds up, even because I didn't really have that nostalgia. I had a lot of fun when I first played it, but yeah, this was like late high school. For me,
I had absolutely no nostalgia for it. And when I played it, I thought it was a pretty good game. Like, I mean, I when I was playing it, I said to myself, I'm not sure if this is like number 3 kind of game, but like I could definitely see this game in the top 10 because like this game I think has done the best job out of all the Super Nintendo games that we've played, setting a mood. Because like even like the very beginning of the game, there's this vignette of kind of, you know, the story, and the music is so sparse and everything's kind of eerie. And then you have this shot of, I mean, this really cool shot of the Metroid in a containment unit with like a whole bunch of dead scientists around it. And like I saw that as me, a 33-year-old guy, and was like, wow, that's kind of powerful imagery. Like, and like the music is really like sparse and eerie, and it really set a tone and made me want to play the game.
I think the music is one of the strong points of this game altogether. But what you were talking about, as soon as you get off the space station and go to the first planet, the main planet, Zebes, I think it is, or Zebes, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Like you land, there's no music at all. There's just a thunderstorm in the background. You can hear it raining. And you get down, and the ground's been so saturated with water, you can hear yourself splashing as you walk around, and you just it's eerie.
I think they took a lot of inspiration, and this everyone's probably gonna laugh because it's probably like super obvious to everybody, but like they had taken a lot of inspiration from Alien, right?
Yeah.
Because like the storyline is super similar. And I mean, like Ridley is a monster in the game. Ridley Scott being, of course, the director of Alien.
Yeah,
Right? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right.
Yeah, I mean I played.
Ridley Scott's Lieutenant Ripley.
Right, Ripley's the
Ripley.
character.
Sigourney Weaver.
I played Metroid before I even knew about Alien. But Ridley's one of the bosses, and he's from...
He's the pterodactyl, right?
Yeah, he's from the cyber pterodactyl later. Yeah.
He's a pirate. He's a space pirate.
He's the leader of
Right.
the space pirates, right? Yeah.
But
He's a dragon.
But he's one of the 2 bosses that they carry over from the original Metroid. So there are 2 bosses in this game. One of them's Ridley. The other one's Kraid.
Kraid, the dragon monster.
Yeah, which is I really enjoyed the way they did the bosses in this game. I guess we can. Have you even read the?
Yeah,
Wikipedia
before we get any
article?
further,
No.
Okay.
Dave,
We can just do it at the end.
Dave, do you hear that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the episode. We're recording an episode right now. Of course, I heard the whole conversation.
I'm having so much fun in my Suburban Commando armor.
Yeah, I do hear the Josh Nance conducted Suburban Commando armor train, which, of course, as everybody knows,
Hulk Hogan's the best actor in Hollywood.
well, he's underrated. He's underrated.
Agreed.
Is Suburban Commando, is that the Hulk Hogan movie where a guy throws a dog in the lake in the very beginning of the movie? Like it's an extra. It's I'll find this video online.
Yes.
Is it Suburban
He's
Commando?
He's driving in a car. You can see it
in the background. A guy just throws a dog in the lake.
God, I didn't realize this as much as I've seen this movie.
He's just driving down the road and it happens. I think it's Suburban. It's either Suburban Commando or Mr. Nanny.
Yeah.
It's one of the 2. Well, I'm going to find this video. Tyler, if you remind me, I'll find it for the show notes.
There's also the movie where he's a wrestler and he fights. What's the guy's name?
Buff Bagwell.
No.
Buck Angel.
I want the movie where Hulk Hogan fights Buck Angel.
He quote unquote fights Buck Angel.
It was a real wrestler, but it was a wrestling movie. It's kind of like one of those cheesy 90s, 80s movies.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Metroid. Or rather, Super Metroid. As it's known in Japan, Super Metroid is a 1994 action-adventure game published by Nintendo, developed by its Research and Development 1 division, and programmed by Intelligent Systems for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It is the 3rd game in the Metroid series, which we've talked about, and it was released in North America on April 18th, 1994. It became available as a virtual console title for the Wii and for the Wii U later on. The gameplay focuses on exploration and the search for power-ups that are used to reach previously inaccessible areas. The game's story takes place immediately after the events of Metroid 2, Return of Samus, and follows bounty hunter Samus Aran, and she attempts to retrieve a stolen Metroid from the space pirates. That's pretty much it. I mean, it goes on about it receiving critical acclaim, which I totally believe, because I think for the time this game was, I was impressed by the way it
this
looked and the
formula
way it
now has
sounded.
been kind of beaten to the ground
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
many times. But at the time, yeah, it was only it and Castlevania sort of followed this MO.
And not many Castlevanias at that
Yeah.
point.
What's everybody's theory? Because you mentioned it takes place immediately after Metroid 2. Why does she get rid of all of her power-ups?
Well, you could ask that for all the Metroid Prime.
Well, according to Metroid Other M, it's because this boy she has a crush on says don't use it.
Yeah.
So fully every game in the Metroid series is supposedly top notch, except for Metroid Other M, which is the latest one for Wii.
Yeah.
But
there's a pretty big bullshit scene.
I'm glad we
in that.
because
Yeah,
I've played
it's fucking
the
weird.
first Metroid I ever played was Metroid Fusion, which chronologically is the last Metroid. So I played it first for Game Boy DS. I played one of the GameCube ones,
Metroid
which
Prime, probably.
Metroid Prime, yeah, which is good, but it's a very different take on the formula because it's a first-person shooter,
Right.
Which I feel is
I
great
think they
for the
did
series.
a great job translating it. But the 2D
How's the exploration work in that? Because the exploration is a real big part of Metroid. How does it work in the first person?
pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to a wall that you can't, or a door you can't open up until you get a certain power up later on, and then you come back later.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
pretty much
flying around the grappling hooks. And
Yeah.
Kind of
What?
stuff.
How do they handle the morphing into the ball?
I think then it shifts to third person.
Third
It's
person, over
basically
the shoulder.
and it's basically like crouching.
Yeah.
The only Metroid game I've played that I do not like at all is Metroid Prime Hunters for the DS. I thought that game was. I haven't played. I own Other M. I got it for $7 off Amazon, but I haven't played it yet. But otherwise, Metroid Prime Hunters, I don't like. Everything else. This included the original Metroid, Metroid Zero, which is the remake of the first one with a little extra added on at the end. All great, all fantastic. But I feel like Metroid is while they're such a good game, I feel like I've made this reference before, but I feel like something happened and Metroid in its current state is sort of the alternate 1984 from what it was supposed to be. Because I feel like this game is supposed to be survival horror. Everything about it, your environment, you alone breathing in this suit, and the music, and everything, it seems so naturally perfect for survivor horror as opposed to survival action.
Well, isn't they pretty much did that with? I think it was Fusion, right? Where it was either Fusion or
Fusion does have a more horror element because you're being hunted.
chased. Yeah, because in the story there's a dark Samus. And it actually explains why you don't have your powers anymore, or all your power ups and stuff like that. You're basically given the regular, mundane, powerless suit, and you're being hunted by this fully powered dark Samus. And he shows up like Tyrant in Resident Evil, just shows up randomly.
All you can do
and
is
you've got to
hope you can run.
Yeah.
He'll hit you 2-3 times and it's over. Because you have to I think then that one's weird because the enhancements are organic because it's another, Samus goes to another planet and finds another life form like the Metroids, only instead of life, they take adaptations and evolve. So she gets infected with one of those and you have to find the other things that have touched the other version of Samus, and then you'll get those powers, sort of borrow them back,
Gotcha.
evolution.
Yeah, I remember there's a place where you're stuck. You basically need the speed boost to get through. And you see this ostrich-like creature running really fast. So you scan them and you get a speed boost power up from them and you can escape. So yeah, it was pretty well done. But yeah, I guess we're getting off topic. We're talking
Super
about other
Metroid.
Metroid.
No, I feel like
They're all very similar, except for the Prime series. They're all very, very similar.
But I totally think that, Super Metroid sets itself up from the beginning as a survival horror, and then it breaks down pretty much as soon as all the enemies appear.
Yeah.
Because then, the gameplay seemed really similar to Metroid that I played recently on the NES, but it just looked a lot better. and sounded a lot better. Because like if given the choice, I'd certainly finish Super Metroid over Metroid just because it always bothered me on the NES how the background was just black, and it was super basic, and I had to draw my own damn map on the NES.
Yes.
And that's so fucking important in that game.
Oh yeah,
man.
Like because I the first time I played Metroid was the NES version on my DS, and I was sitting in the waiting room for the we were at a OBGYN appointment for Nikki, and I was sitting there. I had to clearly say that it was for Nikki. That way everyone knows that I don't have
You were at your OBGYN appointment.
Now, those are on Thursdays. This was a Tuesday. And I was playing it, and I realized that I needed to map it. And I just shut it and set it down. I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to play on my phone until the doctor calls her, because there's no, I don't have access to a pencil and a piece of paper here. But there is a map in Super Metroid, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
And you access
it. Fills as you
download parts of it.
But if you go to unexplored or secret areas won't show up on that map. You got to explore for yourself. But yeah, and the save station, you just stick your gun in like this.
No, the save station's the giant.
Oh yeah,
It's like a bit of chamber in Bioshock.
The map,
you stick your gun in the little console
Data center.
Yeah.
It looks like R2-D2 should be fucking it or something.
Was this the first Metroid you played?
It was.
McElwain?
It was the first one. My favorite.
I know we haven't really talked about the gameplay a whole lot, but we've got you on the show, McElwain, and you are a self-proclaimed lover of this game. You say,
I love Samus. She is future wife.
which whenever you told me that, I was kind of like, okay, you must really love this game, because normally you don't play a lot of games that have like a female protagonist.
I know this is my only, well, not the only game, but I guess one of the first major acclaimed games that has a main female protagonist.
I think that's another, excuse the expression, I think that's another ripoff of Alien.
Oh yeah, well, not a game, but yeah. But I mean, you could never tell that she's female throughout the game.
Right.
Yeah,
her
that's
suit
why
doesn't form fit around her boobs and stuff. What?
From what, this might be rumor, and like I've got no reference to back this up whatsoever, but I have heard in the past that it was just kind of like a last minute thing where it's like,
I've heard that too. Yeah, I don't know.
Where it's like, oh, just make her a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which really, I mean, it doesn't bother me any, because you could either way. There's nothing. She does nothing that is gender specific.
Right.
Which is
Until Metroid Other M.
well, yeah. I mean, in Super Metroid. Yeah.
But I know you mentioned the survival horror aspect of it too. I think the bosses do a great job of that too. You feel like you're being challenged anytime you fight a boss, because the first boss, Kraid, takes up a whole fucking room, and he just rises up from the floor and keeps going and keeps going. You have to platform jump your way up to even hurt him. But
and they do just kind of come out of nowhere too, which I really like, because like all the boss fights were unexpected for me. It was just kind of like all of a sudden the music would change and it'd be like, oh shit, it's a boss fight.
Right, there are mini bosses and major bosses. I think Kraid's the major boss of the first zone.
Yeah, each like, the map's broken up into certain like territories. Yeah.
Right.
And then because I remember I had an oh shit moment whenever you're fighting that one in the lava, or was it the acid? Whatever it was. I think
The
it was
plant?
Lava?
No, it was a mid boss.
The one with all the eyes.
Yeah,
that was a lava.
Yeah, it was.
Where he turns into a skeleton.
Yeah, because you think you beat him, he like goes like sinks down into the lava, and then all of a sudden he like comes back at you and he's clawing at you, and he's just like this half dissolved like skeleton thing. Yeah.
It's really cool to see Nintendo do that too. Because it's like Nintendo usually doesn't do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s.
Yeah. That's why it's groundbreaking.
Because there's one, I think there's a Metroid for Wii U in production, but like I hope it has like way more of the survival horror. Like I want it to be difficult, and then I feel like Zero Suit Samus has been kind of a breakout, being a big character in Smash Brothers, and then a part of Metroid Zero. Like I want to see like Samus stranded somewhere without her suit, with just the gun, and having to slowly maybe try to piecemeal her armor back together, like really gritty survival horror style.
Where is Zero Suit Samus from? Like, what game is Zero Suit Samus from? Or is that just like something that was made for Smash Brothers?
The first time I ever saw Zero Suit Samus was Metroid Zero, like the remake of the first
that
one.
makes sense.
And then at the end, like she gets in her like her space suit. She gets in her spaceship and like basically gets out of her suit to take a break. And then the pirates like attack and take her suit and take her captive. So then you just have like a stun gun that she keeps like on a holster on her waist. And then you're going through as Zero Suit Samus.
Gotcha. Okay.
I could be that was just my first experience. It could have been somewhere else.
I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
genuinely curious about it.
Which, I don't know, I mean, go ahead and say this now. If one of the secrets of the game, if you beat the game in under 3 hours, you see Samus without her suit on. And kind of a bikini.
Sexy bikini
Yeah,
Samus.
bikini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a callback to the NES version too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I forgot what you had to do, but yeah, you had to.
I think there was a code for it, or you enter
How
your.
was it? You don't find it out. You like at the very end.
Yeah.
You get to see her standing there, like on the horizon or something, and then if you do whatever, you get to see her in a bikini.
So they undo everything. Like
Everything
all
progressive.
The, all the like the gender empowering, like it's just like fuck it, bikini.
Well, I guess we go ahead and go through the stages of the game, the different levels or areas or whatnot.
It's fine with me, man. I put about probably 4 hours into this game.
All right.
And did not finish it.
Well, when you first land, you get on your ship. You actually get to see your ship land, and it's invincible. You can shoot all you want, but you can't hurt it. But you get there, no music's playing. You see a thunderstorm. It's kind of like a cavey area. You go in a cave. You go down. All the doors are locked. You can't go in anything except for one door.
And this is still when it's all survival horror,
Right.
Like,
And you go
because
in
it's
one,
super eerie.
and there's a statue holding like a ball, and you shoot it, and it turns into a missile, or is it? No, it's a morph
Yeah,
ball.
that's where you get a lot of
I
your
think this was
power
the
ups.
first one, then the morph balls.
There are these-
Is it?
later after that, yeah.
Okay.
There are these ancient, like bird-like creatures, statues.
The
hidden
Chozo.
throughout. Yeah,
Well-
and they usually hold an orb that you shoot, and it's got a power up.
Right, but eventually you go down to the very bottom, and you get to a place where you can't get out. You're like stuck, and you see this thing on a ledge, and it's the morph ball power up, and you get it, and all of a sudden the whole area kind of lights up.
This thing scans you.
Yeah, I
Thing
remember
scans
that.
you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that. It scans you, and like the level just lights up.
Which
And-
it is. This is the same planet as the original Metroid took place on.
Okay.
So you get your morph ball power up in the exact same spot that
Right,
you
right,
got
okay.
it at the very beginning of the first game.
And you see the ruins of an ancient civilization. I guess the Chozo. Or,
Yeah, I forgot how.
I think
you
it's Chozo.
Chozo.
Yeah. There you see the ruins everywhere.
Because they're like an ancient benevolent race that they're extinct now, right?
Right, except for the one you have to fight.
Oh, yeah.
Except they're extinct, except the one that you killed.
I feel like there's a lot of that
Yeah.
in Metroid because it's like, well, Metroid's extinct except for that one.
Yeah, well, that was another oh shit moment for me too, because you get your power ups from these bird statues,
Right.
So you shoot their little eggs that they're holding. You get a power up. You go into this one room. You don't even think about it. You like shoot the power up, then all of a sudden it stands up and starts attacking you.
Right.
Which it could be argued that's a statue or a machine.
Yeah, but still, you don't expect it to attack you. So yeah, it's like little surprises like that all throughout the game. So it's definitely. We mentioned the doors being closed. Reminded me. I know that you hate this about a lot of games, which I know Metroid. Oh, really, all the Metroids are really heavy on
Going back.
Yeah, you see an area you can't get to right now. You've got to keep that in mind when you get whatever power up, and there's a lot of that in this game. It's a lot of re-exploring areas once you have whatever power up to find access to.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And that's like, I think it's just like this genre isn't for me. You know, like I can appreciate this game, but it's just not for me.
Well, see, I think it is kind of, if it's overdone, I think it's a cheap way of upping the exploration. It's really just a memory game at this point. You know, it's not really, you're not exploring new areas, you're going back to old ones, which I think the Zelda games aren't so heavy on. I think they kind of skirt the line there.
Yeah,
just a
but what I
little
don't
bit.
like about Zelda games is like having to redo a whole whole dungeon.
Yeah.
Like I hate that about Zelda games, which isn't every Zelda game, but it is some of them, and those are the worst ones.
Yeah, they do kind of go back and forth the level that they do it on. But I think the Metroid games are usually pretty heavy in that. Of course, the maps are never that huge, not like in Zelda games, but there is a lot of backtracking just to go to a new door that you couldn't open before.
Right.
Well, and the other thing is, like in Super Metroid specifically, what happened to me was I got to a certain point. I had put 4 hours in, and it was one of those things where it's like, well, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to figure out where I need to go next in the amount of time that I'm going to be satisfied with, so I'm going to stop playing this game. And I mean, I think I totally would have been different as a kid who had like a weekend or something to play Super Metroid. Like
And
I think
make maps and shit.
Oh
like
man,
that.
I would
Would've
have
been a
loved
great
doing
time.
that.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't fit my lifestyle right now. And maybe if I'd have grown up on games like that, I would think differently and totally be down to spend the entire evening just trying to figure my way through the game.
Which I think is one of the strengths of this game, because I think it was my first game that actually did that kind of non-linear game style where you had to go back and re-explore, get
So that
power
when
up.
you realize, like, oh, I can use this here,
Right.
and then I see what you're saying. But like, I guess my first experience of that was Symphony of the Night, so which is one of the best ways that can be done.
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of hard being exposed to Symphony of the Night first, which is basically just Symphony of the Night and Metroid are, you know, very similar in play style, just with more RPG elements. So getting that as my first experience sets a high bar for anything else remotely like that. So this was, I'm with you, Dave. Like, I think this was a really great game, but it's hard having played games much later in the generation that borrow from this.
Right.
Like what you'd mentioned, like kids nowadays don't like Seinfeld because they've seen everything Seinfeld did first beaten to death,
Reinterpreted in other media,
shows,
yeah.
so they don't think it's funny. It's not new to them.
Right.
So I feel like that's sort of the way Super Metroid is like
The Seinfeld
of this kind of game.
All right, I think that's fair. I'm in the same boat, man, because the first my first exposure to this genre was also Symphony of the Night, which Tyler showed to me, and that's the game that you bought with your mom's credit card on my
Yep.
Xbox Live, and that's how that credit card got in there, and that's how I spent your mom's money.
That's okay.
See, I agree with Tyler. It's kind of because that was my experience too. Symphony of the Night first, Super Metroid next, but for me it was going through and being like, oh, okay, that's where that came from. Yeah, there's a lot of elements that Symphony of the Night took and put a new spin on it, made it a little better, whatever. But I think that the creepy atmosphere, I think Super Metroid is a creepier game than Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I agree.
They do a better job at, because Symphony of the Night, it's got a lot of
It's just
RPG
gothic.
elements. Yeah, you could.
Right.
Yeah, it is gothic. There's no like really horror involved, and if you run into a challenging enemy, just go level up a little bit. Buy a new weapon.
Yeah.
You can't do that in Metroid. You've got to. You may be able to
Maybe
find
you
a
can
few
find an
energy
energy
tanks,
capsule,
maybe get some more missiles, but other than that, yeah, you're not going to level up and get more powerful like
Now,
that. So.
let's see there. How many power ups do we have? We got the missiles. We got
Super
missiles.
Bombs, super bombs,
Bombs and super bombs.
Morph ball.
And morph ball, which drops little bombs.
the
And
grappling
we got
hook.
the grappling hook, which is only uses a weapon in one stage, one boss. And we got
Split beam, ice beam,
wave beam, charge beam,
High jump.
high jump, speed dash.
plasma beam.
This sounds like a long game.
There are a lot lot of power ups.
And
The Varia suit.
hyper beam at the very end.
Yeah.
Varia suit, the
Gravity
gravity
suit.
suit, the space
Screw
suit,
attack.
screw attack.
God,
And you
I
gotta
love
wonder
the screw attack.
what
Yeah,
they
screw,
were thinking
screw, yeah.
when they
Screw
made.
attack or GTFO.
Yeah, when they made they thought of the name Screw Attack. They're like,
Well, that's
those-
also my favorite item getting Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Love screw attack in Smash
God,
Brothers.
because in the original Metroid, you get a screw attack too, and it's fucking like that's the end of the game right there. You could just because it's pretty much if you time it just right, you can fly all throughout the stages. You're invincible. You destroy everything in one hit. They did like kind of power it down a little bit in Super Metroid, but it's
You
still
can
pretty badass.
right,
yeah.
you can still fly around,
Yeah.
but you can't kill anything in one hit though. You can actually charge your weapon and do a screw attack, and it'll attack him with the charged weapon and the screw attack.
You can do, there's little combos that are hidden that are not, they may be in like the instruction manual or something, but yeah, if you charge up your weapon and have it fully charged and then turn into a morph ball, all of a sudden you just like shit out tons of bombs.
Right.
They just go everywhere. So little, there's no...
Well, I
it's
think-
not very practical for like fighting enemies, and there's no like part of the game where you have to do that to go on to the next stage or anything.
What makes
But-
things quicker when you got to destroy something below you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think, every time I had to blow something up, I went ahead and did that. Honestly, because I thought it looked cool.
Before you get to the jump ball with the morph ball at the very end, before that you had drop bombs and time them just right.
Yeah,
to
that sucks.
bounce your morph ball up into higher
Yeah.
stages, and that was hard as shit. That and the wall bouncing was the most difficult part for me, where you could bounce off the wall, bounce off the walls, and you have to time the buttons just right. But you could also, there's a really hidden thing which I've done it once. You can recharge all your energy tanks at once. You have to have so many missiles, so many bombs, and no sub tanks or whatever. The energy tanks, you just got to be below 500 or something. And you morph down and drop a super bomb and hold buttons and the down button and charge your weapon. And you go in like a cocoon area. I mean, it recharges all your energy bars at once, but you lose missiles and bombs and stuff like that as like the...
That's interesting. I never knew about that. So yeah, just cool shit like that's hidden in the game.
It's really handy.
I like how the energy tanks were handled too. Like, I like that system.
Kind of like Mega Man.
Yeah, but it's like Mega Man, but
You don't have to like constantly
Actively
go
use
to your
it.
menu.
right.
Or
It just
Zelda.
kind of happens.
Like Zelda with fairies.
Yeah.
The heart
Heart tanks,
containers,
yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, your energy is your life, and the more you get hit, the more your energy drains. It starts at 99. You get every energy tank you find, you get another 99 whatever container of energy. So the first energy tank you find doubles your life.
Right.
And each spacesuit, I think you get, takes off a fourth of the damage you take. I'm pretty
Up
sure.
until 75% with the last suit.
And you need each spacesuit to explore the area. Like you can't go in the volcano. What's the area called?
Yeah, because your commander, your love interest, has not explicitly given you permission
Right.
to use it. Yeah.
But you can't go in that because the heat's too much,
Yeah.
and you don't have the right suit. Or you can't go in the water stage without the gravity suit because you can't get around any. It's pretty neat. I like it.
The boss. So we mentioned some of the bosses. The main boss, I thought, was done really well because I remember flipping my shit because
Mother Brain?
Yeah, it's Mother Brain who's the boss
Spoilers.
from the first
one,
game.
right.
But she's different. Like in the first game, first Metroid,
She's also the enemy of Captain N in the Game Master.
Yes, but she's got eggplant.
ridiculous.
She's got King Hippo and Eggplant Wizard with her. They're not in this game, but in the first game, she's just a brain in a tube, and she's got like turrets that shoot at you,
Right.
and you've got to destroy the tubes. And in this one, she fucking morphs into like this this brain T-Rex that shoots like lasers out of its mouth, and so you're fighting Mother T-Rex Brain, and you beat her, and you think everything's
No,
you think everything's fine,
oh, okay. I see what you're going.
and she she
You're before the T-Rex.
yeah, whatever. Yeah. Well, you think you beat her. You think everything's fine.
Yeah.
You're celebrating with your Metroid.
You're dancing like that?
Yeah,
Like
you're
you're
dancing
doing the
like
robot?
that. Yeah.
I don't
All right, maybe I'm misremembering this. Then why don't you tell it?
I think actually,
I'm pretty sure you
does
dance.
a cutscene. I don't know if it's the beginning of the game the cutscene happens or it's
Well, I can answer
before
that
ends,
question
where you
because I
it
played the
shows you-
beginning of the game.
It shows you fighting the original Mother Brain in the
It's a
area.
flashback. Yeah.
It's a flashback scene. And when you find the current Mother Brain, it's the exact same area, exact same everything. And you go through the whole thing and you fight her exactly the same way you did before. And you think you beat her. And then everything goes away and the wall, it's a different room altogether.
It's an illusion.
Right. Well,
She turns to stone too. Like
Yeah.
brain turns to stone.
It's a
right?
transmutation.
Oh no,
It's not even her
like-
final form. And she morphs into this T-Rex, and you're like, oh shit! And you use every weapon you got: super bombs, super missiles. You can exhaust all of them. You can't
She
kill
eats
her.
the lawyer in the porta potty,
She-
the whole 9 yards.
Right.
Yeah, because she
Jeff
like
Goldblum.
yeah, because she
Must go faster.
shoots you with her laser breath and takes you down to like nothing.
Right.
And then
Well, that'll happen.
But life finds a way.
yeah, the Metroid that you rescued in what game 2 on the Game Boy comes in, and it's fully grown now. You saw it at the beginning of the game; it was just a little
Well,
tiny.
you also
Right.
see it
baby.
at the as soon as you get to this stage, the very last stage, and you find like kind of lava area, and you see the Metroid, and you attack her, and it runs away. Well, it sucks you. Well,
It sucks you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does.
And then it realizes
sucks
who
you.
you are, and then it runs off.
Yeah.
And you don't see it again until the very last.
But Metroid comes in, attaches, and sucks off Mother Brain.
Man, that was a weird sentence.
Yeah. So turns Mother Brain into stone. So then it flies over to you and is giving you, because you're down to like
Nothing.
Right.
nothing.
Laser breath. Right.
Yeah. So the Metroid starts giving you Mother Brain's energy, starts transferring it to you. So completely fills you up. But as it's doing that, you see Mother Brain like start to
Come back to
reform.
life.
Yeah. And she stands up and starts attacking
You.
the Metroid.
But the Metroid is shielding you. It's totally encompassing you, and it's giving you the energy. But as it's doing, Mother Brain just giving it hell and just trying to kill it.
But yeah, she knocks Metroid off of you.
Kills the Metroid.
Does she kill it? I thought it was like
It's
just
the
kinda
last
does.
one.
Yeah, it's the last
Man.
one.
It's the last
Genocidal bitch. But luckily for you, that Metroid gave you a hyper beam.
No, it's kind of like one of those Lord of the Rings moments where you just you see your Metroid friend die that saved your life, and you get pissed, and you stand up, and you start.
Samus
go
is
Super
Samwise.
Yeah, right. You go Super Saiyan, and all of a sudden you start glowing, and then your hyper beam just pretty much kills everything in one hit, kind of a weapon.
So it was a pretty epic moment for the. Of course, you can't pretty much lose with the hyper beam.
Well, you can.
Well, you can, but it's very
it.
hard to.
Yeah, you tested it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty big oh shit moment. Because I wasn't expecting any
Right.
of that shit happen. I was just expecting another Mother Brain fight. Fighter inner tubes. I wasn't expecting big T-Rex, Mother Brain. I wasn't expecting the Metroid to sacrifice himself and give you a super awesome weapon. So,
But you somehow lose in the next game.
yeah. You give it up. It's not sporting.
Well, she has to reinstall Windows like every time she gets out, and it fucks everything up.
Well, like
Fucking Microsoft.
the whole thing is over that Metroid, right? Like the whole game is over. Like the whole the reason that Mother Brain's there is to get the Metroid, right? Like aren't the pirates are the one who are behind?
Yeah, I think they won it, but I think they're just like up to like just general evil.
Because let's say that's pretty fucked up. Where she's like, kill it.
Yeah, I think
I'm mad now. Kill it.
I think
more
she
of a
has
revenge thing.
not world dominant, galactic domination plans. Like just general.
And Samus was the one that defeated her last time, so she's really pissed at Samus. But anyway, after you kill the Mother Brain, the planet somehow is a countdown. It's going to explode. So you got to get off the planet, and you got to run through and go back out the way you came. There's no shortcuts.
It's pretty much a Metroid trope, though. It's
Right.
like every Metroid game. After you kill the final boss,
And there's
the planet blows up, and you gotta
there's
get off.
a secret where as you're leaving, there's a secret area you go into, and there's these little creatures that help you throughout the game. There's like an ostrich looking thing, and little things that show you how to jump on the walls and stuff. And they're in this one little room. They can't get out. So you go in the room.
Just having a party in there.
No, they're like, and you shoot the wall and you let them escape, and then you escape. If you do that, as right before the world explodes, you can see their ship run off, and then the world explodes. Otherwise, you don't see anything.
I never knew that. How did they get stuck in that room? If they can pilot
no
a
idea.
ship,
No offense, that sounds like the shittiest alternate ending ever.
Well, I mean that's just a little off.
I know
It might have something to
it's
do
a
with
little
the later
detail.
game. Yeah.
But also, there's the 3 different endings where you can see Samus in bikini, Samus with her visor off, and then just Samus giving you thumbs up.
Do you guys have any achievements for this game?
I do. I've got an achievement.
Man, ready, loaded in the barrel.
What's your achievement, Josh?
My achievement is you have to. You can't do this alone. You have to have somebody with you, and that somebody is
Suck you
playing
off.
the role.
Suck you off.
Hey,
Sucking you off.
Some people can do that.
Metroid-
Some people
alone.
do that by themselves.
This other person is playing the role of best friend.
Okay.
And this achievement is called best friend,
Okay.
or my best friend. So you unlock my best friend by having somebody in the room with you. You play through all of Super Metroid without saving. You cannot save this game, so it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah,
you go.
It
you
seems
go-
kind of silly.
So yeah, one setting. You go through the whole game. You get to the final boss
Yeah.
with Mother Brain, and you have your friend
You got the hyper beam. You're
reach
ready to
up.
roll.
Yeah, you're ready to destroy
Uh-huh.
her, and your friend reaches up and shuts the power off. Bonus points if he wipes a booger on your face.
See, you just stole an achievement of mine. Mine was going to be Booger Nights. In order to unlock Booger Nights, it's essentially that achievement that you just gave, but you have to do it while you have wearing a booger on your face.
McElwain?
I guess an achievement would be Zero Suit Samus, where you have to beat the game in under 3 hours wearing a bikini.
You have to
You're
wear the
like the
bikini.
players are even
Right. You have to wear.
I think that's fair.
bikini.
This is only available on the Xbox One with the Kinect, so it
camera.
sees that you're wearing
Right.
a bikini.
So,
have to have
so
someone there to
Obama
witness
can
it.
watch you play.
Right.
in
Thanks,
your bikini.
Obama. And you have to, if under 3 hours and you see Zero Suit Samus.
You could look at yourself in the mirror in the bikini if you get do it in 3 hours.
I've got 2 achievements.
What you got?
I've got go big or go home, and that is you beat a boss.
Beat it in Texas.
You beat a boss exclusively using super missiles. And the second one is, hey, that's like Mega Man. Because I played Mega Man before I played this. So, hey, that's like Mega Man is when you freeze an enemy with the ice beam and use him to jump onto a different platform.
You actually have to do that in this game.
Yeah, you have to.
It's you did that in the original too.
I want to take just a minute because I know I've expressed my opinion about this, but I want to ask. We're in the top 3 now, and that is a big deal because like lists normally go like top 3, top 5, top 10. Like those are like the big categories. So like I want to know from each of you, McElwain, I know your answer, but like, do you think that this game belongs in the 3 spot?
What are the top 2? 2 above this one.
Chrono Trigger and
Link's Awakening is
yeah.
number 1. But
Or
not Link's
Link to the
Awakening, Link to the
Past.
Past.
Link to the Past.
It's in a hard position because, man, this is sandwiched in between Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 3.
See,
Right.
I feel like I'm pretty biased. I think it does belong here, but it wouldn't be in mine. Of course, mine would be like all RPGs or something, you know. But yeah, for it being a side-scrolling platformer, that it's dark and a pretty challenging game. Yeah, I think I think it definitely fits here. Just for how many RPGs have been in the top? Like 15, I guess.
Yeah, a fair amount.
But so yeah, I think it definitely I think it definitely belongs here. It's I think my favorite platforming game for the Super Nintendo.
McElwain, it's number 1 for you.
Number 1 for me, but
Yeah.
I mean, as I'm biased.
Well, see, I think it's one of those things where it's like I can't. For me personally, I would feel a lot more comfortable if this was switched out with Super Mario World, because like Super Mario World to me is like that's my pinnacle of Super Nintendo platforming.
To be fair, Super Mario World does have a lot more replayability to it. Super Metroid, I think whenever I went back and played Super Metroid, I think it had been long enough that I forgot most of what happened, so I got to experience that again.
Semi-fresh.
Yeah. So I think that had a lot to do with it. So yeah, Super Metroid doesn't have a lot of replay value. Like you could just pick up Super Mario World at any point in time and play through it and just have as good of a time as you did the first time. So
Tyler, where do you think this game belongs?
Now that you say that, I mean, you have a really strong point that, like, if we're looking at a lot of genres and trying to pick out, I think Super Mario World is better than this game. So, like, I think it should be. I mean, I think most of the crux of the argument is I think Super Mario World should be higher than this game, but this game being 3, 4, or 5 is perfect.
Yeah, I don't have a problem at all with this game being in the top 10. Because, like, I mean, I had never played it before. So even, like, coming in with, like, completely no nostalgia, like, when I was playing it, I was like, this is a really well done game. Like, I mean, it's not for me, but it's a well done game. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun today. Talking about that girl Metroid.
Do we still do the how much it costs on Amazon?
I've got 3 questions to ask you, Tyler. 3 questions.
Are you gonna do beards and glasses?
I've got 5 questions for you, Tyler. If you were to give this game, I don't know, maybe a beard. If you were to give this game an Amazon, what kind of Amazon would you give it?
Well, see, actually, I think what I'm going to say counts as both. I would give this game Nicole Kidman.
Oh, that's clever.
Sean Miller's on my couch right now, and I don't think he agrees.
Hashtag more Miller.
No, it's, Nicole Kidman being Tom Cruise's beard, and she's beautiful and wonderful and a fine actress, and she's really tall. She's kind of Amazon-ish. So
How
there you
tall
go,
is she?
Nicole Kidman, 5'11",
Really?
I want to say.
I don't know. I have no idea. Tony, how tall is Nicole Kidman? Let us know. Thanks.
Or
Love you.
anybody that can type IMDb into a search bar.
Nah, Tony. Tony, you're our science guy. We're dealing with units of measurements that we can't fathom.
You're our lead Nicole Kidman scientist.
Nicole, you're in the club. Forget it, Tony. Don't let us know. Nicole, you let us know. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what kind of glasses do you think you'd give it?
I would, because this game, has aliens and things like that in it. I would have
Right.
to give it. It's human eyes, but we've been tainted by the evil thetans that exploded out of that volcano and corrupted us.
Man, you're just really going. You're just really going full hilt with the
Yep.
Scientology.
the Scientology. First you got Tom Cruise. All right.
Poor Tom Cruise.
He's a good actor. It's fine. He'll be okay.
I think he'll be. Oh,
He's not gonna hear this podcast and overturn his take.
oh no, I think you could have stopped right there. He's not going to listen to this podcast. Period. All right, we're done.
on the point, whatever chance you listen to this, Tom Cruise. They don't speak for me. I love you, Tom Cruise.
He is your favorite actor, right? No, or it's Brad
No.
Pitt.
Actor? I mean, it's close.
Actor.
I mean, actress or actor. I mean, actor gets thrown
Actee.
around for both genders. But yeah, I mean, I'd say he's one, at least in the top 5.
Yeah, I think might be Ashley Shake's favorite actor, but Ashley Shake is over there asleep right now.
I think
Can't
he
comment.
loves Vanilla
Fist
Sky.
punch your fan.
Yeah,
Vanilla
I
Sky.
am glad that
He's taking a shake nap. It's fine.
bad interviews haven't ruined his career.
I mean, they kind of
His
have.
Oprah interview was
They've
wonderful.
changed his
Changed
career.
it, yeah, but haven't ruined it. Like he's still made a Mission Impossible movie. He's still doing weird Scientology movies.
And
I'm sure. So.
I know this, like, I'm not going to claim that this is my original thought. It's certainly not. Josh, you may have heard this also, because I know you listen to the Cracked podcast. But, like, they've mentioned it several times where it's like, if you go back and watch the Oprah interview, like, his reaction is not nearly as, like, out of proportion as everyone has made it in their mind.
Yeah.
It's really, really tame, like, compared to, like, how I even imagine it.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
Josh, McElwain.
Oh.
How much is this game on Amazon? What I want to know is, how much is this game specifically used on Amazon?
$49.
Going out of order, Josh. That's fine. It's fine. $49 from Josh.
How much is it last week?
How much is it used
What,
on
did you
Amazon?
just buy a lot of
Currently.
copies like this week to like raise up the price? What's going
I knew
on
he was
here?
going to do this. So I'm buying 20
Cornering the
used
market.
copies to try and skew the price, so I know what it is.
Right now, how is it? How much is it?
$32.
$32. Josh, you said 49. McElwain,
Ooh, 56.
$56. Okay, guys. Actual retail value of Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System used on Amazon at the time of this recording is, oh man, so close, $48.65. Josh,
Cheater.
I'm sorry, you were over by 35 cents. I guess that goes to Tyler.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Tyler.
You have $48.
Get back with
You have $48 in your hands, McElwain, right now. What are you gonna do with it?
I also want to play the variant to this game, which is how much is this game new on Amazon. This is a lot more formal. We just throw some numbers out there, see what happens.
Wearing what is okay? This is too formal.
No, you're great. Okay. You're great. You're dressed appropriately.
Okay. We gonna go in order again?
Well, yeah, Josh, since you went first last time, what you got? How much is it new?
Well, the viewers have no idea what order we're sitting in.
They're listeners.
Well,
First of all,
The viewers, being the people in this room, do know what order we're sitting in.
New. Let's see.
New.
Is it new or new?
Well, it came out a long time ago, so let's just go with new.
So
I'm gonna go with 120.
$120 from Josh. Tyler, what do you think? How much is this game new on Amazon?
$1,200.
$1,200. Adding zeros all up in this bitch. McElwain, what you got?
70.
$70. Actual retail value of Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, new at the time. Miller, last minute, you want to get something in?
444.
444. Okay. Now I have to remember more numbers than I've ever had to remember on this show. So please, everyone, remember their amount. The actual retail value of this game, new on Amazon, is $560. Miller, I believe that you are the closest without going over. Hashtag more Miller.
Wow, way to come in and steal that.
This is new. This is
Hey,
new.
fuck you guys.
And I feel like that constitutes enough of a presence for Sam to count this as a Sean Miller episode.
You're welcome, Sam.
real quick, you guys.
Yeah.
We've talked about Samus. Samus uses a various amount of futuristic weaponry.
Yes.
So I have a quiz.
That's why you're trying to wrap this up early. I looked down at the clock and I was like, we're only at an hour. Let's do it. Let's do this quiz.
All right, so this is a quiz on video game guns.
Okay. Josh, this is all you.
No. Swords I got. Guns.
Yeah, you got guns too. You're fine.
This is the weapon of Squall.
That's the gunblade.
Gunblade.
Yeah, gunblade.
This gun from GoldenEye was named after Ken Lobb.
Ken Lobb.
Clob?
Clobb is correct.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Good job.
I was just going to say it backwards.
That's gonna.
Blognik?
The PP7 is the only thing I could think of. Like the only gun I
First,
can
I
remember.
thought of the golden gun.
Golden gun.
Yeah,
Then you
golden
said
gun.
Clob, and I was like, oh, it's Clob.
GLaDOS watches you use this gun.
Portal gun.
Yeah.
Portal gun is correct. Isaac uses this to cut through alien appendages.
Oh, the plasma cutter.
Plasma cutter is correct.
Yep.
Gordon Freeman uses this to control objects.
It's from Half-Life. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't played.
Yeah. What?
Gravity gun.
John Turley is
Turley.
correct.
Of NBA James fame. He had to contribute a little bit more for Sam to add you to a guest host.
This gun belonging to a space marine was pretty effing huge.
The BFG.
Correct.
9,000.
Mega Man's default weapon.
Imbuster.
Imbuster.
Your Team Fortress 2 medic needs to use this on you.
Oh, shit. He uses the Uber. He makes you Uber. I can't remember what the actual gun is called, though.
Haven't played Team Fortress.
The Metagun? I don't know.
Medigun is correct.
Thank you.
Good job.
Balls of red light are fired from this weapon in order to save checks and stop the soggies.
Oh, shit. A Chuck's Quest. I don't know. I never played this game.
Oh, I played this game. I have no idea.
How common sense is the answer?
Not at all.
Because if it's pretty common sense, I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe the Chex gun.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, it's
It's as good
gonna
as
have
anything
to
I
be.
can come up with, yeah.
So the Zorcher.
Oh, damn it!
close.
Of course, the Zorcher.
This was Vincent Valentine's ultimate weapon in Final Fantasy VII.
Cerberus?
No, it wasn't.
It was Dirge of Cerberus.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. I don't know.
man, I feel like all three of us should know the answer to this question. I sure as hell do not. Hashtag more
Sean
Miller.
and John Turley got nothing for you.
Makes me feel better. I guarantee you, Archivist Corn is like
was like
throwing
a-
his listening device against the wall right now.
Sniper rifle kind of thing with it.
I don't know.
Any guesses?
Josh, you guess, man.
I have no idea. Honestly. I would
This
guess
is Vincent Valentine's ultimate weapon in Final
I would
Fantasy
guess like something like Apocalypse, but then I know for a fact that the Apocalypse is one of Cloud's swords.
It's the broken rusty sword, yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep, I got nothing.
It's the death penalty.
Wouldn't have got.
No, there's.
That was pretty good, though.
Wow, we went out on a whimper.
8 for 10. That's pretty good.
I feel like that was easier than your sword quiz. Your sword quiz, I feel like, was ludicrous.
Completely Chris Bridges. Completely.
Also, someone who would never listen to the show. So we can say whatever we want.
I hope he's listening. He's like, of course I listen to your show.
If you're listening, let us know. Help us get Taco John's as a sponsor.
Please, Ludacris, help us get
I feel like you've got that power.
And leave a 5-star review.
Yeah, please leave a 5-star review. We'll talk about whatever game you want, Ludacris. What game would you have us talk about? Man, now I'm genuinely
Leisure
curious.
Shoot Larry, probably.
I'd be down for
What's
that.
that 150?
Def Jam Vendetta.
I'd be down for that too.
What was that Charles Barkley RPG?
Windy City.
That was requested recently.
Yes, I saw
5-star
that.
review.
Or is that Michael Jordan in Windy City?
Michael Jordan in the Windy City. It's a Super Nintendo.
In the chaos.
game.
What-
Chaos in the Windy
Chaos
City.
Yeah,
in the
Chaos
Windy
in the
Charles
City.
Barkley, where
Yeah.
he does a slam dunk that's a nuclear blast. Is that the one?
Shut up and jam.
Shut Up and Jam. Then the one they want us to play is Shut Up and Jam Gaiden,
Right.
which is the RPG spoof of that, where Space Jam is canon to the world, and aliens take over and basketball is illegal.
Well, I think, yeah, because like, who destroys the world with a slam dunk? It's like Jordan or something, right?
No, it's Charles
It
Barkley.
might have been Barkley.
Oh,
yeah,
it
but I
is
think
Barkley. Oh, so it's a
destroyed the
redemption.
world.
It's a redemption
I
story.
swore I never played basketball again.
Yeah. You're right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
I like to say one thing before we go. This year at Dragon Con, can a really hot listener girl meet me somewhere?
A listener girl.
Hot listener girl dressed as Samus.
Those are pretty high demand.
Though
Like
you're running the risk of it being me, because you're not gonna know. You're not gonna go. I
Takes the
could.
suit off.
This is like, I feel like, have you tried the Dragon Con subreddit? I feel like you'll get a much better result on that subreddit
I
than
can try
like
both.
talking to all the 30-year-old dudes who listen to the show. And of course, Chandra. You're a very valued listener. I'm glad that you do.
I could try both.
I like the idea where Josh, in a shitty Samus, like paper mache, like cardboard cutout suit, like seduces McElwain at Dragon Con. Like you can see his beard sticking out of this shitty visor.
You just need enough of that illusion. Just enough of it. Just a hint.
And at the end, McElwain realized, like, he cares about me. He didn't want me to be lonely this whole time.
Well, you are TADPOG's sweetheart, Josh Nance. So it only makes sense.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna seduce you this August.
Now you're going to be on edge for all Dragon Con.
Is that Josh?
You turned down a hot girl thinking it's Josh.
Damn it! I see Josh somewhere else.
But Josh is hired a Josh lookalike.
Oh yeah, this is elaborate. It's gonna happen.
We all have infinite expendable income to do this.
We should all go to Dragon Con in our best Josh Nance cosplay.
All listeners come to Dragon Con this year.
Yeah, all the listeners should come to Dragon
The
Con.
Josh
It's a lot of
Nance
fun.
cosplay meetup at Dragon Con. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes or Stitcher. So don't miss the next episode on Road to Flavor Wednesday. We'll be talking about Chrono Trigger.
Man, it's been a long time
Earthbound
coming.
Chrono Trigger.
Next Monday, I don't know. We'll have to see. But you know what we like?
What's that?
5-star reviews.
Oh, yeah, we totally love that.
We are at 95 iTunes reviews now.
Man,
it's
you're
amazing.
like 5
It's
away
amazing.
from like what you want.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do when we get 100?
Then I'm gonna want 200. But for right now,
But like once that 100 dings, like what are you going to do? Do you have anything planned?
I'd be like super thing.
Are you going to masturbate in the bathtub?
Yeah.
He does that anyway.
Each one of your tubs, dry tubs. The dry tub masturbation circuit in celebration.
Let me.
of
I like to think that
give me
dry-
a warning first. I want to put down some like towels, like in the bathroom, so you don't splash everywhere. And
It's
get
like
everything wet.
the bourbon trail for Tyler.
I'm gonna get one oversized T-shirt where I write all the names of the reviewers on it, and then I'm gonna masturbate in bathtubs.
I like
wearing just the white T-shirts.
The favorite thing that I've gotten from this is I like to imagine that your rapper name is Dry Tubs.
Yeah, that should have been an option on the Wu-Tang name generator. But leave us a 5-star. We're so close.
Yeah,
Help
yeah.
us out. leave us a 5-star iTunes review.
Yeah.
And you get a little control over the show because if there's a game you want us to play or a guest host you want for any certain episode, put it in there. And we promise, whatever you write in there, we will try to get to it eventually.
Man, I'm glad you put the try in there because we were doing really bad, I think, at like keeping up with those. Like Tyler said, thanks for listening. We'll be back. Don't worry. In the meantime, you can always find us on tadpog.com. It's where the show notes live. Tyler will do something. I don't know. Probably just all of Samus's bikini shots. That's probably going to be up there. So go check that out. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com/tadpog. There's a lot of cool people there doing a lot of cool shit. If you have anything to say about this episode, if you are a very attractive young lady who likes to cosplay as Samus and would like to get
Just
with
loves giving
McElwain,
blowjobs. Just message McElwain.
Better yet.
post to the Facebook group so that
We're sure
there's a little drama.
We're sure there are twos of you out there.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're the Samus review board. So I'm sorry, McElwain, but like all requests of hooking up with you at Dragon Con has to go through us. Like Tyler and I, we're the screening. You're
gonna
board
pass
for
Josh.
Bonus, yeah.
that. We're gonna green light Josh Nance.
Bonus points if you cosplay as me cosplaying as Samus, and just leave
nice.
McElwain like really confused.
You can also find us on Twitter. We are at tadpog_podcast. It's cumbersome, I realize. Thank you for everybody who's retweeting our episode tweets specifically, but also thank you for all the other people besides Archivist Corn, who I'm still thanking, who are sending us obscure game art that they want us to talk about. So keep that coming because there's absolutely no way we're going to be able to get to all of them. But just seeing them makes me laugh at work, and I really appreciate that.
It's a place that needs laughter.
It definitely is a place that needs laughter. My bathroom at work.
And disinfectant. It really needs
Yeah,
both of
all
those.
of it. And maybe an exorcist.
and some children to watch you use a bathroom.
Yeah, well, no, we got that. We got that covered.
Okay, good.
A little window that's got cardboard put over it. Oh, got that too.
Save that cardboard though for me. I need.
You need some. You need
my
some
suit.
We'll
bathroom
take it for
cardboard.
your Samus.
I need that cardboard for myself.
It's a in today's economy, it's hard to come by cardboard.
I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
You can call us if you want. We like getting voicemails that are under 3 minutes and are video game, Golden Girl, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, or question related. If you want to call us, that number is 270-883-2555. Josh, McElwain,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, David.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really glad that McElwain, I'm specifically glad that you were here because you played the shit out of this game, it seems like, and I didn't. So that was good.
No shit left in it.
And Josh, of course, I'm glad you were here because clearly we all want to have sex with you. So
Right, yeah.
not
Which
just
we're
me.
going to get to in a few minutes, probably, yeah.
That'll be the stinger. It'll be 45 minutes of just Josh bottoming. It's going to be great.
yeah, it'll be the second time we've used that stinger.
Ugh, that stings.
How you want to close this out?
Let's,
I guess we should talk about our theme song first.
I guess we should.
Yeah.
Our theme song, Josh.
Is a bunch of guys fucking me. By us, by TADPOG Studios.
Man, we're either going to turn people off right away or on right away.
We just opened up a whole new demographic.
Viewers just start pouring in now.
Listeners.
Whatever. What do we do here? What is this?
No, Josh wants people to come over here and watch him do this.
It's Moves by Sycamore Drive.
A link to that track, McElwain. Where can that be found?
Tadpog.com.
Nailed it. Here's what I think. I think we should outro this as we normally do a Josh Nance voice, but I think what we should do is Josh cosplaying as Samus seducing McElwain at Dragon Con.
Okay.
And go.
So until next time. Wah, 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 wah. Tropical Capricorn.
I verbally abused that middle school girl.
There's your stinger.
Yep, thank you.